Welcome to Bastard Quest. I'm the Game Bastard Kyle.
I'm the Todd.
Corey!
I'm Austin.
We are playing Monster of the Week, an RPG by Michael Sands, about every week getting together with your friends and killing a monster.
But we do it every year,
Yes.
apparently. That's the second time we played this.
Yeah, we're excited to come back to it.
Yeah, it's a fun game, powered by the Apocalypse. It's been out for a couple years now. It's not a new game.
I'm a big monster fan.
Yeah.
Movies,
I'm a big fan of weeks.
whatnot.
Gets my ears going.
I love the.
It really kickstarts the month,
It does.
and then
Wow.
your year just follows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weeks. Fucking philosopher, Corey.
I'm going to have 52 of them this year.
I'll be darned.
I might try to squeeze in one more before the end of the year. We'll
Well.
see.
You just want a second Black Friday.
Who doesn't?
Yeah. The deals.
Can you get enough in one day?
Not for me, sir. No.
hey, guys. Leap years. Am I right? I can't even.
I know.
I can't even.
Give me
No.
another year.
My favorite part about leap year is being able to leap like a frog all year long.
Well, that's because you were christened at the bog.
That's right, Todd. That's how that works.
I just think if I get another week, that's another week of smoking cigarettes.
Yeah, it adds minutes off your life, but adds weeks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I can't argue with that.
Is this metric?
Yeah. Legally, all medicine has to be in metric.
No, it's like moving from Fahrenheit to Celsius.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, think about this. Someone is listening to this for the first time.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're so sorry.
We'll see you later.
It's 52 weeks Celsius, but it's like 4 weeks.
But if you add 3 quarts of days, that's when you get a leap year.
But what about universals, Todd?
That's Kyle.
That was,
I'm over here.
no one can see this, of course, but Austin was just looking me dead in the eyes as he said
And call
that.
me Todd.
I don't know how to respond.
That's why I haven't spoken.
Wow.
I smell toast.
But we are playing Monster of the Week. Austin, who's your character?
I'm Cheney, the werewolf.
Okay.
Yeah, but what's his actual playbook? It's not werewolf.
No, that's just what I created, and I've kind of evolved past that by now. We'll go over that in a minute.
Okay.
I am the monstrous. That's my playbook for this game.
Okay.
Right, yeah. So the in this role-playing game, the characters are all part of a group that hunts down monsters. In our narrative, the characters are part of a quasi-government organization known as the TCB.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for some reason in my head, all I have ever pictured for Cheney is the kind of rundown, frumpy-looking werewolf guy from Monster Squad.
Yeah.
Like the dude that runs in with the long hair. He's balding, wearing a flannel shirt. Just being like, lock me up!
Middle-aged monster.
Yeah.
Corey, who are you playing?
Well, I'm playing Curtis Knickerbocker. He's the expert. He's a super cool dude.
He sounds like it.
Yeah. He's pretty much a nerd. He definitely doesn't need to be fighting anyone.
No.
Curtis is actually, I'll point this out. I'll give you a little look into my process.
Oh.
Curtis is my first revenge character. Because
Okay.
he's somewhat inspired by a roommate I had in the late 90s.
Oh.
And when we moved out of our apartment, he stole my Sid Vicious poster.
Oh.
So I made Curtis not very cool based on this roommate.
Nice.
Yeah.
Based on the roommate Curtis Knickerbocker?
Yeah, that was his name.
Yeah.
I just hope to God he never hears this.
He's a Patreon member.
Well, if
Fuck.
he's anything like your character, fuck him.
Todd, tell me about your former roommate.
Well, my character's name is Melvis Prensley, the Initiate, member of the TCB sect. And that TCB stands for the country's best.
Eggs? In this economy?
He actually is Elvis Presley. When he, instead of dying, he faked his death. It was recruited by the TCB sect, and he's now immortal and fights monsters.
Assassinated Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he said fights monsters.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
It's Thriller Night, baby, and I'm fixing to beat it.
Oh, wow.
Let's see. Let me just quick note. Michael Jackson as the villain.
I don't remember that time.
Elvis would be the best monster hunter. I think. I mean, not the best as in most effective. Just the most entertaining.
He's just who you want to follow.
Yeah.
In the movie.
Honestly, I can't believe that Colonel Tom Parker did not suggest that idea.
Oh, yeah.
We don't know that he didn't.
It's very true.
There's so many just unmade sequels to Bubba Hotep that just could have happened.
Now, this is the second time playing Monster of the Week, so I believe your characters have leveled up since the last time. So you guys want to go through and talk about what you've gained?
Melvis gained +1 to his weird, so he's now a +3.
Seems like it should be so much higher.
That's actually what his obituary said. Elvis has gained +1 weird.
Curtis simply added 1 to his sharp, so he's +3 sharp now.
Just smarter.
And you can add moves, which Powered by the Apocalypse Games employs moves, which is basically like abilities and things like that.
Yeah.
It kind of gives you a pretty great structure to fit in when you're role playing by only allotting like specific actions, but you can be creative about how those fit into your plan or whatever.
Sure.
As everybody probably remembers, you're limited to act under pressure, help out, kick ass, protect, manipulate someone, investigate, read a bad situation, and use magic. And then you've got moves specific to your playbook. For example, Cheney, who is a werewolf of my own creation, essentially. He's only a werewolf because I made it so. My monstrous moves are Shapeshifter and Unholy Strength, and I have, as natural attacks, Teeth and Claws. But this time we've moved beyond just simple werewolf, because my improvement was to add one of my monstrous moves, and I have become incorporeal. I can walk through stuff.
So you're a ghost wolf.
Yeah.
Okay. I accept that.
Not all the time, just when I need to.
Are you like the character in that Forrest Whitaker movie where he was a ninja, but on the streets?
Ghost Dog, he was a samurai, actually.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like I nailed it.
He didn't have powers.
And the one I saw, he did.
Oh, okay. There's actually a Ghost Dog, The Way of the Samurai role-playing game out there.
Oh, yeah, we looked into it. It is super expensive, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah. We're not going to buy that.
The Jim Jarmusch movie we're going to get the role-playing game for is Coffee and Cigarettes.
Kyle didn't see Ghost Dog. He saw the Asylum Pictures version, which was Paranormal Ninja.
I think John Belushi would probably be in the Senate today.
What are we doing?
Not elected, just there.
Right.
We're all having a stroke tonight.
He'd get us that extra week.
That's right. 53! Okay, so incorporeality with a juxtaposed to +1 weird and +1 sharp.
Yeah, just imagine a werewolf just flying out of a wall and slashing you to pieces.
It's terrifying.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Happened to me at church camp. Well, hey, Elvis can't walk through walls yet. He's tried many times.
I have no doubt.
There are many Elvis-shaped holes in walls in Graceland right now.
So many concussions.
This time I'm going to be incorporeal.
I'm going to be a corporal. Corporal Tom Parker.
Gonna cut you, Colonel.
But like some of the other things that he has, like, you know, based on his playbook, he has ancient fighting arts, helping hand, and that old black magic.
And of course, the ancient fighting arts is
Karate.
Curtis has preparedness. He has a haven, which is his Nana's basement. He lives with his Nana. He's 29, but
of course.
Yeah.
it's cool. It's fine. I mean,
Yeah.
plenty of people do that.
It's a nice basement.
And have enriched lives. And I've read all about this, which goes in with his expert abilities.
You are in Graceland.
Oh,
Of course.
It is after hours. The front gates have been closed. Another day of entertaining tourists is over. Your various jobs as the grounds crew and maintenance personnel, all a cover, of course, because Graceland is the secret headquarters of your particular division of the TCB, because they don't let any of you come to the main headquarters anymore.
Yeah.
We all know whose fault it is. We're not going to name names, Elvis.
Melvis. Come on now.
Melvis, right. We're not going to name names. But where do you guys relax after hours when you have the entirety of Graceland to yourselves?
Well, obviously, the Jungle Room.
In the jungle room?
Oh.
Sure. You guys are relaxing in the jungle room.
I'm showing them videotapes of my various performances in Vegas.
Sure.
This is not the first time.
Your glitter belts hurt my eyes.
Yeah, I got sued by a lady in the front row one time because the spotlight hit it just right and it burned her eyes out.
Oh, my God. When suddenly the red phone rings, you know what the red phone means. There's a job. A monster job.
That's the voiceover for the trailer.
Which one of you answers the phone?
Too heavy. Turn it down.
Cheney never answers it. He just yells at it.
It's Elvis's house, Melvis's house. What's shaking there? Is it Melvis?
You hear the sound of your new boss, Deuteronomy Dallas. Based on Patreon member Dallas.
Thank you, Dallas.
Melvis,
Yes, Dallas.
we have a priority. Bodies are piling up and I need a monster taken care of.
All right, well, you called the right people. Well, where do we need to be and what do we need to do?
It's a small town in middle of nowhere, Idaho. Pineville, Idaho.
Well, what kind of monster they got up there in Potato Land?
Well, it's the Pacific Northwest, Rockies. I don't have to tell you what kind of monster's up there.
It's a giant tater tot, isn't it?
No, God damn it. What are you talking? It's a Bigfoot, for God's sake.
Oh, one of them Sasquatches. Yeah, I remember that. I seen the $6 Million Man fight him.
What other kind of a potato? A giant potato?
Look, you see how many eyes them motherfuckers have? That's the scariest goddamn thing I can imagine. A giant potato with like 70 eyes.
Mother of God. Look, the briefing is on the plane. Get to the airport and get to Idaho. Pineville. Deuteronomy out. And he slams the phone down.
Well, fellas, it looks like we're going to Idaho, land of the potato and the Bigfoot.
I don't want to go to Idaho. From what I've read, the gravity's too strong there.
That was our new boss, Dallas. His name reminds me of Dallas.
It reminds me of dead presidents.
Jesus.
The proter.
I did a show there one time and got a little high on the Percocets and jumped on the back of a longhorn cattle and drove it through the streets of Fort Worth. And when I got tired, I jumped off of it and just ate the whole thing alive.
I like to think that was not when he was Elvis. It was when in his Melvis persona. It's just this crazy deranged man riding a cow through town.
All right, well, we can take off, but I have to go outside first. Cheney comes back after 3 hours.
No, just walking around in a circle.
Smelling every
I'm going to make sure the Lisa Marie's ready to go.
Austin, is Cheney always in some sort of monstrous form, or can he shapeshift?
No, he's got the shapeshifter power, so he can be human most of the time.
I see.
And because it's a move, and because he's kind of an advanced werewolf, he kind of has control over it.
So you guys have a private plane, Elvis's old plane, at the Memphis airport.
Yeah, it's been repaired since we crashed it into a fucking highway.
They told you it was repaired. It's a totally different plane.
Look, all you need is a little Bondo and a little duct tape, and Lisa Marie's good to go.
Elvis has been through about 40 planes. But as far as he knows, it's all the same plane.
Oh, okay. Same plane.
But you guys arrive, you get on board. It's, of course, a TCB pilot. The whole crew is in, so there's no worry there. So there have been a series of murders in Pineville. You learn all this from the dossiers on the plane. Pineville's a small town of about 5,000 people high up in the Rocky Mountains. There are known to be Sasquatch in the area. This is something TCB monitors, and normally it's not an issue. Bigfoot rarely comes down from the mountains, rarely interacts with people, and when they do, they tend to flee rather than fight. However, there have been a flurry of sightings around Pineville of Bigfoots and a flurry of deaths. TCB believes they're related. They want you to investigate.
Unfortunately, Curtis had to read all of that, and the motion sickness was not pretty.
Oh, no.
Oh, come on.
Hey, Corey, how does Curtis prepare for high altitude jobs?
Well, beforehand, he takes a long soak in the tub and tries to get real clammy. It helps the wind he thinks that is coming through the plane go through his skin.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I can't take showers because they knock me down.
You've never seen someone complain about too much water pressure.
Oh, no. It'd go right through me, sir.
So there are photographs of some of the victims. They look like they've been brutally hacked into pieces.
That's weird, but Sasquatch don't usually use a weapon.
Nope, he does it with his bare hands, just like the Big Bopper used to do.
Yeah, can one of you guys take a look at these wounds and see if you can tell what made them?
Wait a second, the Big Bopper was a mass murderer?
Well, yeah, that's how he got the name. He used to bop people on the head with a shovel.
That explains a lot, actually.
Well,
I mean, the government's got all the records. He was the one that caused the plane crash. He had a shovel on there and beating Buddy Holly in the back of the head.
Oh, that's right. That's why they did that to Leonard Skinner, because they were scanning people.
so any rock star who died in a plane crash was actually a mass murderer. And Melvis had them set up to.
I just think it's funny that in some office deep inside the Pentagon, there's between a file on Roswell and MK Ultra, there's the Big Bopper murders. They're hiding that one away.
So Elvis is responsible for the deaths of all these mass murdering musicians, and the only suspicious thing is that they were always flying in a plane he owned.
Yeah, there was one that was flying in a helicopter, Stevie Ray Vaughan. He was a cannibal.
Oh, okay. That one was absolutely your helicopter.
Stevie Ray Vaughan. Ghoul.
What about Ray Stevens, Todd?
He didn't die in a plane crash.
There wasn't anything wrong with him?
Oh, there was a lot wrong with Ray, but he ain't allowed in Bob Evans restaurants no more.
It was his squirrel manipulating powers.
So, to Austin's earlier point that was quickly glossed over by nonsense, you do have full dossiers, pictures of the victims, pictures of the crime scenes.
So I think Curtis will use his sharp to examine the photographs and all the evidence they have.
Okay.
All right. What's your move? What move are you making?
Investigative mystery.
Well, that makes a lot of sense.
And it's been a while since we played Powered by the Apocalypse game. Can you give us a quick rundown?
Sure. So, at the core, you're going to roll a number of dice, generally 2 dice. There might be exceptions, but I think it's pretty much always 2d6.
Yeah.
You want to roll high. If you roll 10 or more, you generally do whatever you're trying to do without a problem. I believe it's between 7 and 9 where you do it, but there's going to be a complication or you might miss something. There's going to be some sort of sticky wicket about it. Below that, 6 and below, that's not a great outcome.
Sticky wicket, that was what we called John Denver. He used to beat people to death with a croquet mallet.
Oh.
So yeah, there's success, there's a success with a complication, and there's a failure. And the only modifiers to those rolls are based on the +1s, -1s, etc. of our actual skills. Cool, tough, charm, sharp, and weird.
Yep. And I got a +3 in sharp, so I add 3 to the total of my roll here of the 2d6. That's a 10.
Nice.
That is a total success.
Bushnabbins.
Is that what Curtis says instead of like Eureka or some shit whenever he finds a clue?
No, he's just having a seizure.
I'm always having one, technically.
Actually, Melvis avoids all eye contact with Curtis because he's afraid if he looked at him, he would kill him. Hey, I don't know if y'all know this or not, but them 9/11 pilots, they was in a Kiss cover band.
And that was their crime.
Mohammed Atta? I am the Star Child! And he,
The one in the Pennsylvania field was the kitty.
So, Corey, one thing you notice is, so previously they had been attributing these killings to something in Bright Peak National Park, which it's true that all the killings were in a short distance or within Bright Peak National Park, except one that they just considered, they chalked that up to an outlier. But you notice that all the killings are within a 1-mile radius of Old Route 14. It winds its way through the Rocky Mountains. The old highway. It's not used much anymore because, the interstates come through. But Old Route 14, she's still there, laying in wait like a great serpent in those high peaks.
do we know where Route 14 goes?
Oh, I mean, it just winds its way through Idaho, eventually hits Canada.
But nobody goes down it.
Well, it's an old state highway. It's just not used as much.
Okay.
Because, the interstate now goes, and people just love to clog on the interstate because they hate God.
Is it true nobody uses it because rock stars use it to taxi their planes?
That was one of the early uses of Old Route 14.
Hey, you know what, fellas? I say we have a little bit of fun. Let's go explore that Route 14, and let's do it on golf carts.
Okay, if we have to, but keep an eye out because I'm allergic to butterfly venom.
So you guys land at the Boise airport. You have your own private TCB hangar.
Is there a golf cart in there?
Why would there be a golf cart?
So we had to go rent one. Okay, that's fine.
There's a fully loaded Humvee.
Oh, well, okay. I guess it's better than a golf cart.
Good golfing up in Idaho.
Truly.
Yeah, so you guys have a fully loaded Humvee. Where would you like to go?
Well, should we talk to the local authorities? Check the morgue?
We can check the morgue. I probably don't need to be the one to do it this time. Last time I checked it out, I almost got stabbed by a vampire.
I'm thinking it's a small town, about 5,000 people. The morgue and the authorities probably share an office.
That is a safe bet, and it is accurate for the town of Pineville.
All right, let's go talk to them people.
So you guys drive out of Boise, cross the great state of Idaho. So after a few hours, you make it to Pineville, nestled amidst the hills. Everything's green and verdant.
Basically looks like the town where Rambo lost his shit.
It looks exactly like that town. You see Brian Dennehy. And he's dead.
Oh no, I hope he doesn't misinterpret my rough and tumble demeanor.
Yeah, because if they throw you in jail and hit you with that hose, oh my
Oh,
God.
it'll go right through, but
Hey, look at that. It's that David Caruso fella.
oh, I think I could take him.
You guys arrive at the Pineville County Sheriff's Office / morgue, and it has a literal slash in the name. And this is one of those office buildings that was clearly built as part of Johnson's Great Society in the 70s with government funding, because it's just the worst architecture.
Yeah.
And there's a side stair with the with a sign morgue angled down. But there's also, you could go in and talk to the sheriff if you wish.
And I think we should go inside and make the local authorities aware of our presence.
My sock got wet somehow.
All right, well, you sit in the car and recover, and we'll go inside and talk to the sheriff.
No, I'll go in all squishy.
Squishy.
You guys have no idea how his sock could have possibly gotten wet.
I ain't been there any waters.
Hey, I don't ask questions about the guy that David Hyde Pierce beat up for being too fancy.
So what do you guys wear when you're in the field?
Curtis pretty much has double strap bandoliers. No, Curtis dressed.
But with retainers.
Curtis is pretty much dressed like Angus Young from AC/DC.
Okay.
No, but he does dress like what he thinks is fancy, but his clothes are the same. It's the same suit he's been wearing that his Nana bought him for his graduation from high school, but he's 29 now.
Yeah.
And he's put on some pounds, and it doesn't fit. It's an ill-fitting suit
I see.
and a giant lollipop.
Well, Melvis is, of course, wearing a rhinestone-studded jumpsuit. However, because they were going to be going on this adventure in the wilds of Idaho, instead of it being white or a solid color, it's mossy oak camo.
And Cheney doesn't pack clothes because he rips out of his shit so much. He just has to wind up always improvising and buying whatever they can get at the local gas station and stuff. So he's usually wearing a bunch of like shirts with eagles on them and wolves on a mountain. And,
Yeah.
And usually a cap or two if he's...
Oh, okay.
Keeps a spare cap because that's important.
Well, remember, as Corey once said, everything's a hat if you're stupid.
That's right.
But just so we're clear, none of you are dressed anything like people that would be at all responsible for anything of any gravity.
Curtis would be the closest in his ill-fitting suit.
Yeah,
I would
right.
say. Yeah.
Oh, and Melvis does have on his aviator sunglasses.
So you guys walk into the sheriff's office. The receptionist looks up at you, sees an Elvis impersonator, a hobo, and a man in a poorly fitting suit.
Yeah.
And looks at the man in the poorly fitting suit and said, "Well, sir, against my better judgment, I'm going to assume you're in charge."
Oh no.
"Yep, that was a swing and a miss, Smathicus." And he looks at the Elvis impersonator. This reception is, of course, based on Smathicus, Patreon member.
Well, look here, Smathy. We are here to investigate this string of killings that are tied in somehow with this Bigfoot fella. We're from the TCB, and we're here to take care of business.
All right, well, this is a small town, so let me get the sheriff. He gets up, walks into a room marked sheriff, comes about a few minutes later with a hat on
Oh, okay.
that says sheriff. "I'm the sheriff, Enrique Smathicus. I believe you met my receptionist, Enrique Smathicus."
Wait a minute, we got like a twin thing going on here?
No, it's a small town. I'm the same guy. I had a deputy, but the Bigfoot killed him, so.
Wait, did you just shapeshift into a sheriff?
Okay, guys, I didn't think it was that complicated. I'm the sheriff. I was just sitting at the. Yeah, I shapeshifted. Yep, that's what it was. I shapeshifted. You got me. I'm a shapeshifter.
Cool.
Thank you.
We're from Memphis.
Okay.
So tell us more about this string of killings and why you think it's connected to a Bigfoot.
Well, because it's coming out of the national forest. People ripped up pieces. It's probably Bigfoot.
Oh, no.
You said ripped up. Can we take a look at the bodies and see what you've been talking about there?
Yeah, I mean, on account of yes, but it's my lunch break here in a few minutes, so if you don't mind me eating while you look at the bodies, that's fine.
Or if you just want to give us the keys, we'll just head right on down there and take a look and bring them back to you when we're done.
All right, Austin, you're going to have to roll to convince him to do that because that's highly unorthodox.
Okay.
What move are you using?
Act under pressure.
Okay.
Because he's just trying to get the guy on his side, get him to trust him.
Wouldn't that be manipulate someone?
Shut up, Corey.
I know what I'm doing.
I agree with Corey.
Thank you.
All right, well, my charm's -1.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Well, I rolled a 6.
you look like you just left a Grateful Dead concert.
In a way, I did.
I see.
Well, look here, Smathy. I'm a little hungry myself. Make a deal with you. I'll share my McDonald's with you if you'll take us down there to the morgue. Look at them bodies. I just need to run down here. I saw the McDonald's on the corner. I'm going to get me a sandwich that I like to call the Big Nug. It's a 20-piece chicken nugs, and I have them smash it between 2 quarter-pounder patties.
roll something. I don't know what.
Weird?
Yeah, you could definitely roll weird.
Could somebody put crust on my Happy Meal burger?
Okay, so Melvis is weird is +3.
Cool.
Rolling 2d6.
Ow, this toy cut me.
Well, he rolled an 8.
Success with a complication.
Oh, okay. The Happy Meal toys for a girl.
I'm bleeding out.
So the complication is, Samathica says, well, that sounds pretty good. Unfortunately, that McDonald's out the street is closed down. You're going to have to go across town. You bring me back one of those big nugs. While you're doing that, I'll take these 2 yahoos down there and they can take a look at the bodies.
All right, so Melvis leaves to get in the Humvee and drive to the other McDonald's.
Yeah. So essentially, Melvis can't go down to the morgue. He's got to go get big nug sandwiches. But so Smathicus takes you guys down outside, down the steps to the morgue, unlocks it with his key. You go in. Yeah, it's a cold room. To the left is a very basic table for an autopsy, and then there's just a row of morgue corpse shelves. I don't know what their technical term is, but that's what I'm calling them.
All right, so to come down here and examine the bodies, we have a werewolf who must resist the urge to feed on the dead bodies, and someone who's probably going to get sick at the sight of blood.
No, I'm fine with death. I welcome it.
The sheriff goes over, unlocks one of the vaults, pulls it out. It's a body. It's clearly been stitched back together from being rent apart.
Why did you stitch them back together?
Well, I didn't do it.
Are we kin?
I'm not afraid of everything.
Well, I'm not afraid of everything, but I don't like big feet because they closely resemble a bear. And I don't like bears, I'll tell you that right now. I seen them Paddington movies, and they kept me up for weeks with nightmares. Terrifying.
The one with the happily respectable bear that made the marmalade sandwiches?
He could have turned on you at any moment.
Well, I thought it was delightful. Anyway, this fellow was real fucked up, and Doc Newton thought it'd be best to just stitch him up for the funeral.
Is there any ones that haven't been stitched up yet?
Sure, we got some fresh ones. And he walks over and pulls open a vault, and this wave of blood scent just slams in to Cheney and his nostrils. So what's the stuff you got to roll not to just feed on something like a psychopath?
I have to act under pressure, and I do have a cool +1. Good Lord, what a low roll. Hey, Kyle, I'm going to use a luck point and just make that a 12.
Cool.
We ran into this problem last time. I don't want to run through the whole story again.
You managed to contain your bloodlust. The beast shackled within your chest. There's my deputy. He's a good man. Died this morning. God rest his soul. Yeah, so the body's just in chunks. It almost looks like something just bit it apart with just crude teeth from just a cursory observation.
Curtis is going to investigate a mystery and examine to see what kind of teeth made these bites.
Does Curtis put on any sort of apron or smock or surgical apparatus?
Yeah, if there's anything in the room, we're in a morgue. Surely there's an
Yeah.
apron or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, he puts it
of
on.
course.
Oh,
And he falls down from the weight.
Corey, you're going to investigate a mystery then.
Okay. I assume that's my sharp.
Yes.
So got a +3 in sharp. That's a 7. So success with the complication, right?
So with investigate a mystery, on a 7 to 9, you get to ask one of the following questions. What happened here? What sort of creature is it? What can it do? What can hurt it? Where did it go? What was it going to do? What is being concealed here?
well, I'm gonna skip those. Why do they call them urinal cakes? I bit into one and it ain't cake.
Well, I don't know. I've never had the desire to bite into one.
No, Curtis is going to ask what kind of creature did this. Because this just doesn't sound like a Bigfoot to me. They're not bitey. They usually just punch you and pummel you, right? Yeah.
So there's this scene of Curtis pulling the body out, getting one of the big lights, a magnifying glass going through, and the sheriff and Cheney are talking, and finally Curtis has a discovery, and he's got some medical pliers, and he's holding up a small bit of metal. Sheriff and Cheney look at it, they don't know what it is, but Curtis knows exactly what it is. It is a tooth of a chainsaw.
Huh.
I didn't know big feets could use those.
They prefer Rexes.
Well, what do you think it means?
Well, it may not be a Bigfooter at all. It could just be a redneck. Y'all got them around here?
Listen, son, this is Idaho.
Oh.
It's the Mississippi of the Northwest.
Oh, no.
So that's definitely strange. Bigfoot doesn't have a chainsaw.
It could be a Bigfoot with a chainsaw.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
That's a kick-ass fucking movie title.
Right?
He's got a leather face on.
I guess it's time for Melvis to get back with lunch.
Melvis never returns, Todd. No, yeah. So after this discovery is made, Melvis comes down the steps of the morgue with 2 huge bags of McDonald's.
Oh, no, Kyle. Melvis comes through the door with a wheelbarrow filled with McDonald's bags, and he says, "Sorry, buddy, but as McDonald's over here said they'd never heard of the Big Nug, so I just got one of everything."
You're a very strange man. He just starts pawing through it.
Cheney has to resist the urge to feed again.
Could you skin my nuggets for me?
Jesus Christ.
What happens when he swallows one of these salty-ass fries?
Immediate cardiac arrest.
It's like a snail.
Starts like, he dries out like a slug.
That's why I took that bath for so long.
So what's the next move in your investigation?
Well, we tell Melvis what we found out.
Bigfoot with a chainsaw. Something just don't add up. Like numbers. You ever think about numbers? People say they add up, but they never did for me.
Just ever. Like the instructions said, every 4 to 6 hours. It just made no sense to me.
Yeah.
Like, what's a week? It's crazy.
57 of them in a year? I don't know.
Well, if somebody's using a chainsaw and we know that these dead bodies were found all within a specific radius of the highway, there may be just somebody moving up and down the highway on a serial killer type basis.
Let me ask you a question there, Sheriff. You got any logging crews in the area?
Well, we always have logging crews up in here. It's one of the only jobs in Pineville is the pine.
Let me ask you this. Have you seen Scott Stapp around here lately? Could be one of them sorrel killers.
Well, now that you mention it, Mr. Stapp did come through town a few days ago.
Does he have plane tickets on him?
I don't recall that.
Well, I think we ought to get in the Humvee and go up to Route 14 and take a look at these crime scenes and see what we can deduce from there, and maybe go and talk to some of the logging crews.
All right. Who's driving?
I'll take the wheel.
Back seat in the middle with my feet on the hump.
Back seat on the side with my face out the window.
Jesus Christ.
Curtis has a man-sized child seat. pointed backwards.
Of course. The Humvee rolls up old Route 14. Melvis Prinsley behind the wheel. Cheney with his head stuck out the window like some sort of idiot dog. Curtis in a man seat. Not a baby seat, a man seat, because apparently he's made out of wax paper covered in piss. You're heading up the highway, driving entirely too fast. McDonald's wrappers flying around like flotsam and jetsam caught on the tides of life.
You got a touch of the poet tonight, Kyle, and I appreciate it.
I've been drinking steadily. On a whim, Melvis takes the first logging road that he sees. Curtis immediately vomits. But you guys ramble up this old logging road off Route 14, come to a clearing where there's a work crew with equipment, chainsaws, axes, cutting down trees, timber to power America's industries.
So anyway, fellas, like I was saying, that's how we found out that Randy Rhodes was in fact the reincarnation of Jack the Ripper.
Oh.
So obviously there are some looks from the lumberjacks seeing this Humvee roll in. Clearly you're not part of the crew. One of them walks over to you. He's dressed in slacks and a button-up shirt that don't have any sort of dirt or wood chips on them, so probably the foreman. Does have a hard hat. Hey folks, how you doing there?
Well, hey there, I'm assuming you're the foreman?
I am, sir. Master Matthew E. Don, based on Patreon member Matthew E. Don.
Thanks, Matthew.
Well, look here, Donnie. We're a part of the TCB, and we've been sent to investigate these murders that's been happening up here along Old Route 14. Wonder if you're aware of such activity?
Oh, no. I mean, I saw something in the news, but I didn't pay much attention to it.
You ever see a Bigfoot up here?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Break it out.
All the time, yeah. See them all the time. You can see them up on the tree line.
Well, let me ask you this. You ever seen one using a chainsaw? What I'm trying to ask is, you got a Bigfoot working on this crew?
Well, I don't like the tone of your question.
Well, have you had any chainsaws go missing around here?
I don't like the tone of your question.
Well, that's just how I talk.
Look, no Bigfoot on my crew ever done nothing with a chainsaw that what nobody didn't have coming towards them and
Listen,
saying.
buddy, we're not saying a Bigfoot's on your crew. Well, he did, but that's not really prescient.
Run, Terry! Get out of here! You see one of the lumberjacks, particularly her suit fellow, throw down his chainsaw and run into the woods. And that's when you realize that lumberjack wasn't wearing pants. It was just fur and a plaid shirt.
Quick, turn the man stroller. I need to see what's happening.
Well, buddy, that wasn't exactly what we're after.
Oh, well, look here. You just said you're after a Bigfoot.
Listen, if you'll just listen for a second.
Well, hold on. Excuse me there. And Melvis kind of pulls Cheney aside and says, that was a Bigfoot with a chainsaw. I think that's pretty much exactly what the fuck we're looking for.
I was about to say.
I say we chase Terry.
That's never something I thought I'd hear in an episode. Yeah, but I thought we agreed that Bigfoots aren't likely to do something this violent. They usually try to hide themselves.
Yeah, but Bigfoot has been assimilated, obviously, into human society. He's probably more human than Bigfoot right now, and 100% murderer.
All right, well, I'll get on his trail.
Oh, hey there, fellas. Unless I see a warrant, nobody's going anywhere.
Listen, I'm Army Hammer's personal taxidermist. I've seen some terrible shit. Now get out of my way.
You guys go after him. I'm going to wait here and not run.
Actually, I was going to ask, can Melvis have like some sort of device that, like a harness that he can wear so that he can carry Curtis like a baby on his back?
A papoose?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to go.
Well, you just remember, buddy, it's air if you need it.
So Matthew Edon drops down to a fighting stance.
Cheney becomes a werewolf.
Okay.
Hold on there, sir. Hold on. Look, we don't need to fight. We're not here to hurt Terry if he's not the murderer. But we've got to solve these murders.
Yeah, maybe we just want to ask him a few questions.
Okay, you guys can make a move to try to convince, Foreman Matthew Edon that you mean Terry no harm.
Let's see. Melvis will use manipulate, but that falls under charm, correct?
Sure.
Well, Melvis's charm is a -1, as you might expect. Yeah, that's a 4, so I'm going to use luck
Alrighty.
to make that a 12.
Well, okay. Listen here. Terry's a nice fella. Let me go talk him down.
We just want to talk to him.
Fair enough.
Yeah, just bring him back here and see if he had like a double cheeseburger. I got an extra one in the car.
So you guys walk out into the woods. Matthew's calling, Terry, come on out, Terry. It's all right. They're just investigating the murders, which we know you have nothing to do with. And in the distance, you hear something. Yeah, it's Terry. Come on, this way. So you guys, you go deeper into the woods, and you come to a deadfall, which is where a lot of trees have fallen, and it's like this mound of trunks and greenery. Terry, you in there? There's some movement, and Matthew creeps forward, and you hear, the Bigfoot call, and soon enough, a large hirsute figure comes out, flannel shirt with no pants. He is wearing a hard hat because he believes in safety. It's all right, Terry. These guys are just going to ask you some questions.
Hello, Terry.
Hello!
We're not here to hurt you. We need to ask you some questions. Have you been murdering people with a chainsaw?
No, I have not murdered people with a chainsaw. I am a lumberjack, and I'm a very good lumberjack.
And that's fine. We don't hate good monsters.
I'm not a monster.
Well, we were sent here because we heard Bigfoot was killing people. There have been many murdered people, and we have discovered that they were murdered with a chainsaws.
Oh,
And they've all been murdered around Route 14. Do you know anything about that area?
the old highway?
Yeah.
Well, it's a nice place to walk at night. There's not many cars.
Well, not right now, it's not.
Sounds like a great place to murders.
I guess so.
So you don't know anything about this?
No.
Well, what about chainsaws for this lumber company? You guys haven't lost any equipment lately, have you?
Roll your manipulate. Move.
Okay. That's, again, charm -1. It's a 7.
Okay, so on a 7 and 9, I'll manipulate someone. You have to do something for them. Any ideas what you could do for Terry?
Give him your pants.
Well, listen, right now you're the only suspect that we've got, and it's just because everybody thinks that a Bigfoot is what's doing this. And you're here, and you've obviously got a chainsaw, and right now that's the smoking gun. But if you give us a hand and help us with the investigation, we can put in a good word for you and make sure and help you solve this little PR problem you got.
Okay, I'll help you. Terry and Matthew share a look, and we've had a chainsaw or two go missing on the crew. We thought it was a meth head stealing them to cut their meth.
Would you happen to have the address of those meth heads?
Well, we never caught anybody. We just thought it was a... No.
Don't answer that. Terry, do you have any enemies in the Bigfoot community or beyond that might try to frame you in such manners?
Yeah, somebody might use you as a patsy, you know.
You said Patsy. Patsy Cline was the Black Widow killer.
Oh, my God.
Died in a plane crash.
Well, there's my ex-boyfriend, Shenandoah.
Broke up on bad terms, huh?
Well, I just wanted more out of the relationship than I think he did. And he would go months without saying a word to me.
Has he ever killed?
Oh, all the time.
Okay. Do you know where Shenandoah is now?
No, he migrates back and forth. He's a North American grizzly bear.
Oh. Does he know how to use chainsaws?
He's very smart
Oh, no.
for a bear.
Oh, does he make marmalade sandwiches?
No,
Oh, thank God.
he prefers peanut butter and jelly.
Okay, I can take him.
All right, now you're speaking my language. Tell him to put some nanners on them sandwich. It makes it even better.
Well, we broke up.
Yes, but can you point us to the areas that he migrates to?
Sure, he roams up and down Old Highway 14.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Let me ask you something here, Terry. This Shenandoah bear fella, is he 100% bear or is he a shapeshifter like my friend Cheney here? Because if he's a shapeshifter when he's in bear form, he might just know how to use a chainsaw.
Well, I don't think he's a shapeshifter. Just sometimes he's a man and sometimes he's a bear.
Oh, I see, yeah.
Yeah.
So he's a werebear.
Terry looks at you for a long time, confusion on his features. No, I know where. I don't know where he is. We broke up, and he went down to Old Chainsaw Canyon, and I stayed here.
Oh, no, there's a place called Chainsaw Canyon.
No,
Interesting.
I was kidding about that. I just thought I'd josh you a little.
We just blew this case wide open.
No,
Yeah, well, it sounds like we need to find the Shenandoah bear.
but yeah, he can shapeshift.
Can
And
he shift into other stuff?
Well, I think just a bear and a person, and he hates people. One day he said, God, I'd love to rip them all to pieces. If only I had a chainsaw. Oh, no.
All right, fellas, well, it looks like we're on a bear hunt.
Yeah, it seems pretty open and shut. I think it's about time to go hunting.
Oh, no.
You guys are going to detain him peacefully, right?
Sure. In pieces.
Sir.
Oh, no.
Let me tell you, did you ever leave anything at his house, like a T-shirt or something like that we can get back for you, Terry?
The chainsaw?
All right, we'll see what we can do.
You left your chainsaw there?
I'm so sorry. Looking back, I feel like a fool, but I was in love. And we'll end there on
Okay.
the sad story of Terry, the heartbroken Sasquatch lumberjack. Tale as old as time.
It happens. I mean, I killed 6 people after my divorce.
I mean, everybody does. Oh, fun to play this game again. I like it a
Oh,
lot.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I like getting back to this. I like these characters.
Yeah, we weren't really planning on playing this. We're trying to barrel through this pile of games we have and get through a lot of the indie stuff we've got, but we've got a very short turnaround on recording this week, and Kyle's just got to work.
I know.
No, Kyle's got to go out of town, so we were like, okay, we have one day between recording sessions. Let's play something familiar. We haven't played Monster of the Week in a while, so...
And it lends itself to,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, because, well, there's a different monster every time.
Yep.
Hence the title.
And the Powered by the Apocalypse system is really fun. I
Yeah.
think it really works well for our format.
Yeah, it really keeps things fast-paced and kind of lets us focus on character.
Question, fellas. Have you ever seen dice that were carved out with a chainsaw-wielding bear?
Yep.
Well, go to NorseFoundry.com. You won't find that, but you will find all kinds of cool dice. They got all kinds of dice made out of all manner of materials, all kinds of colors. They're beautiful little rollable works of art. And when you choose your dice or your merch, as you're checking out, be sure to enter promo code CHAMBODY. That's CHAM, CHAM, and you'll get the 10% Bastard Quest discount.
Norse Foundry Metal Dice. Give them a chew. You can finally use that dental insurance.
Ow.
And we'd also like to thank our sponsor, Barrel and Bond, 100 Broadway Street in beautiful downtown Paducah, right there on the banks of the Ohio River.
Their urinal cakes are edible.
Yes.
Yeah.
It tastes like bourbon.
Yeah, they're great. Get the charcuterie urinal.
Thank you all for listening. Thanks to all the patrons that were featured this episode. Thanks to all our patrons in general. We love you. We love hearing from you. We love talking to you. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for reviewing. Thanks for being here for us.
And we did feature a number of Patreon members this week. We featured Dallas, Smathicus, Matthew Edon, and Shenandoah the Bear.
Oh, I see.
He's a new
Oh,
member.
I see. Yeah.
And as always, this show is not sponsored by McDonald's.
No, not since the lawsuit.
So what we're trying to say is thanks for listening. We appreciate each and every one of you. Y'all are the reason why we do this. And, tell a dumb friend. They might like it too.
I've got ulterior motives. It's not the reason I do this. Yeah.
Thank you for listening. I'm Kyle.
Todd.
Corey.
Austin.